As we learned in the previous lessons, sometimes we wanna write the code and we currently needs to write it over and over and over, and it doesn't make sense. For example, if we want to print from 0 to 1000, it doesn't make sense to write this line 1000 times. So we've learned that we have a better way. We can use the while loop and to write the code only once inside the loop, and to decide how many times we want this code to repeat over and over. In this lesson we are going to learn about another loop called for, and we write the for, of course, before for, and then opening round brackets, and of course the closing round brackets, and inside we have three parts: initialization, which is, for example, int I equals 0, and verification. We are verifying, we are evaluating the condition, is it still returns true. And update, of course, we need to update the value inside I, because we want a way out of the for loop. If I will stay 0, so we will repeat this block of code over and over, but we want sometimes to go out of the for loop, so we need to update the I to increase it, and here we are increasing it by 1. So let's see, we have three parts, and we have this semicolon twice, one and first and second, which this semicolon I separating it to three parts: initialization, verification, verify whether it returns the true, still returns true, and updating I. So let us see. And very important is to know, to understand that the first part we are executing only once, and only before loop, before the start. Int I equals 0, and this part will not be executed anymore. I equals 0, that's it, we can forget about it. Now we have only two parts, and of course the block of code. So it goes like this. First, we are verifying, we are evaluating the condition. Is it true? If it's true, this code will be executed, and only then this part will be executed. So it goes like this: this part, the second part, before the block of code, and the third part after. And then we repeat it again: this before, and this after. So the first time we evaluate this condition, and because that I is only 0, this part returns true, and this code will be executed. And then after, we will increase I by 1, I plus plus, and then we will try again. Is I less than 5? Of course 1 is less than 5. This code will be executed, and then after I plus plus, now I is 2. So we want to repeat this code again. So before we will verify, we will evaluate, is I still less than 5? Yes, we will repeat it again, and then I plus plus. So until the last time when I will be increased to 5, and then before that we are going to execute, we will ask, is I less than 5? And the answer will be false. Then we will no more execute this code. And here we have another example. For int I equals 0, it's very similar, but just a little bit of difference. Int I equals 0, as we said before, this part will be executed only once. And now we have these two parts, and of course the block of code. The second part before the code, and the third part after the code. and then again second part before, third part after. But this time it's just a little bit of difference. Is I less or equal 0? This time this code will be executed not only if I is less than 10, but also if it equals 10. And here in the third part we have also just a little bit of a difference. This time we are increasing I not by 1 but by 2. I equals I plus 2. So int I equals 0 at the beginning. I is 0. Now before the block of code we are verifying, we're evaluating. Is I less or equals 10? The answer is yes. So this code will be executed. After that we are going to increase I by 2. So now I will be 2. And then before we execute it again, we are verifying is I less or equals 10. And the answer is yes. So this code will be executed again. This code will be executed, of course, when I is 0, when I is 2, when I is 4 and 6 and 8 and 10, because the condition here is I equal or is less or equal 10. So it will be executed also when I will be 10. So when I will run this program, I expect to see, of course, 0, 1, 4,000, and here I expect to see when 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I will be 5, this code will not be executed, or will not print I. So only 0 to 4. And here I expect to see when I is 0, and then 2, 4, 8, and 10. Right click on our project, debug, start to instance, and of course, as we said, 0 to 4 and 1000, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to jump by 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10.